Let's get started with Monday Masterclass. Today, we're going to talk a lot about sending messages. So I just want to start out by asking how much of who in here, and you can raise your hand or whatever, feels like I have nobody left to send messages to, or I've messaged everybody in my contact list, or my friends and family are not interested or are interested and have already joined me. Okay, Christy's the only person. So everybody else has a huge list of people ready to go. Okay, Melissa's like, no, 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 no. I'm sorry, I didn't raise my hand. Okay, so if you have ever told yourself the phrase, my friends and family do not want to do this with me, then go ahead and mark yourself present for this conversation. If you have ever said, I have nobody left in my warm market and like my friend groups, or I write down somebody's name every single time we talk about making a list, and I'm never going to message that person. Like I write down Amy's name every single time. I want Amy on my team and she's my dream teamer and all these things, but you're never actually messaging Amy because she scares the bejesus out of you on what she's going to say, how she's going to respond. You know, what if Amy
Okay.
tells all of your friends,
All right.
oh, okay, tells all of your friends, oh, don't invite Andrea. She's going to invite, she's going to ask us all to do that network marketing thing with her again. So let's not invite, if you've ever had that thought, like just mark yourself present for this conversation. Does anybody else have kind of a thought about your network? Like one person, unmute and just say, this is the thought that's holding me back in my business because of my network. I will call you out, Krista McKee. Go ahead and tell me what about your business is not moving forward because of the people that you have in your network.
I'm scared. I'm not reaching out to people about the business.
Why?
But I feel like I'm not, because I don't feel like I mean, I can get customers. I love customers are easy, but I don't know why I can't get people to start building and start sharing. Because I get happy customers and I go to them and I tell them what they can do to make an extra $300. But I guess I don't know if I'm doing the right verbiage. I don't know if I am like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Is any part of you telling yourself a story that they're going to tell you before you reach out to them?
I mean, I try not to. I mean, I try to just. I mean, I feel like I've been pretty bold and pretty like, hey, do you want to do this? Like, I can help you get $300 if we just share, your story or what the products have done for you. I feel like I've been pretty bold. I mean, I think we always have things in our mind, like, I mean, there are certain people that I haven't reached out to because I'm afraid of what they're going to say. I'm afraid of what they're going to think. However, I do feel like they would do pretty great at this business. So I do think there's a lot of fear there too. But at the same time, I do feel like I've been pretty bold with those people who like the products.
So it's easy to talk to people that you've already gotten in for the products, but if you have to boldly go and talk to that girl on your list that you know would do great at this business, but what you really want to do is just say, hey, here's what I do. Here's what you can, here's what you can do. Here's what it can do for you. And I really want you to come in and do the business. The products are great. Products are amazing. But what I really want is for you to come in and like catch the vision of the business and like go forward with that. But that fear is always going to happen in probably your most potential, like biggest potential people. Does that make sense? Like the people that you have in your network that have the most potential are the people that are the scariest. The people in your network that you're like, I mean, I think I can get her in for a probiotic and a pink drink and maybe a 3-day reset. Like those are the people that it's easy to message because the loss feels less if you're like, oh, they don't want the products. Okay, that's fine. It's no big deal. They don't get it. But if they are like, you went big on the business and now all of a sudden, and I'm like, I've just never, okay, has anyone ever had someone be mean at the reach out? Has anyone ever had someone like be truthful? Like, has anyone had someone that you've reached out to someone and presented them with either the products or the business, and they've actually like been horrible, and or like it's done like disastrous things. Go, Christy.
Oh, I was just agreeing that that's happened to me. I was just raising my hand in class.
Okay, okay. I like the hand raise. Has any? I'm serious. Like, I kind of want worst case scenario. Like, what is actually like? Y'all know that I have a fear of flying. Like, so my worst case scenario is crashing to death. But like for the most part, it's turbulence. It's the little things that kind of make me think the big thing is going to happen, but the big thing hopefully never happens. Um, but I keep getting on the plane, right? Because I need to go somewhere. So like are you sending the messages to like move your business, and like the little things are kind of happening, but the big giant like all of the moms at school turning their back on you and like not inviting you to something, or somebody just like reaming you up one end and down the other for sending them a message. It's never happened to me. I don't think it's happened to Bet, because I'm pretty sure we would have talked about it had it happened to her. I definitely had people not understand it when I started posting a lot about Plexus, and kind of gave me a hard time. I mean, Becky Page was one of them. Like, what the heck are you doing? But nobody was like overtly mean about Plexus. And so I just want to like take a little bit of that fear out of it. Like, no one like has ever reamed somebody for messaging. And I want to help like kind of take the tone down for, we're going to talk about messaging, but I really want to know what your fear is around messaging, because I can't really fix it if I don't know what your fears are around messaging. So if I say, I'm going to throw some sentences out and I want someone to unmute and tell me like your first thought when I say it. If I say message someone in your cold market, I'm going to call on you if you don't unmute, if someone doesn't unmute. So message someone in your cold market. What's your first thought?
Easier than the warm market.
Okay. So you feel like cold market's easier. Who, when I say cold market, who do you think that is?
So I've been having a lot of and adding a lot of people that have like 30 or more mutual friends on Facebook. And I consider them my cold market.
Okay. When I say warm market, who, like, what immediately comes up for you? Like, I need you to message, I'm going to ask you to message 5 people in your warm market. What's your first like thought?
I know them and I already have some kind of relationship with them.
Okay.
Something in common with them.
Yeah. Does anyone think I've already messaged everybody in my warm market? There's nobody left. Okay. Christy says yes. Sarah says no. Becky says cold market. Oh, I feel inauthentic. Warm market. Oh no, what will they think of me? So it's almost like two extremes of the same, like kind of the same thought, which really are both about you. Like if you think about it, neither one is about presenting them with an opportunity for them. It's literally how is it going to reflect on you? If I said lukewarm market, like you need to be messaging 5 to 10 people in your lukewarm market every day. Where would you even start with that? Like, where do you even go for your lukewarm market? What does that look like? Go Deaton.
Well, to me, lukewarm would seem like the people, not your close friends, but people that just acquaintances and people that you know and you see here and there. And I guess like to me, the thing about reaching out to people is that they already know, like in my mind, I'm like, well, they already know I do this. If they wanted to do it, they would come to me, you know, like Julia always says, well, so you have so many friends. Like, why you don't have all of them do it with you? I was like, they're not going to do it. Like, that's my mind. Like, I can't, because I do jokingly tease people or like say, well, I mean, you can always say sell Plexus with me. And then like, they're like, I can't do that. So
The
Anyone
teasing,
else? Go ahead, Beck.
I want to call you on that, Melissa, because I relate to it. So please hear my heart. The teasing is actually to give you an out. It says, I'm not really serious.
Right.
And so I am curious. Okay, let me just ask you, Melissa. If I go, okay, well, Melissa, I mean, I know some ways you can make extra income, or I know a great probiotic you could use because you said you're not, you don't have the best digestive health, versus if I were to come to you and be like, Melissa, you can respond in total honesty to this, but I cannot help but see so many traits in you that would make you so good at what I do. You are intentional with your relationships. You care about the stuff you share on social media. You are thoughtful. You have a lot of wisdom. You've got a lot of just courage and strength through stuff that you've been through. And I feel like you have some natural leadership. Would you consider praying about whether or not you should do plexus with me together? And like, what do those two approaches feel like to you?
They're very different. And the second one is easier to do with people that you don't know as well, as opposed to your
Really? Okay.
closest friends to me. Like my
Why is it easier to do with casual friends?
Well, like, because doing that, like, for instance, I have a really good friend that owns a business, and she's always like, I'm just not making any money in this business. But I don't want to work 9 to 5. And I mean, this was Wednesday. I was like, you can always sell plexus. And she was like, I just not good at social media. But then her daughter, I have reached out to, and I was like, told her all the traits and been like, this would be really a good thing. And then, of course, I mean, it was easier for me to say that way to her daughter than it was to my best friend, I don't know. That type of
Which I mean, Andrea knows me well enough. She called me out and was like, you're what I say about who I'm messaging. She's like, that's more about you. And I do think sometimes with our closest friends, we feel like we have more to risk. Also, that's a close friend is not a messaging situation. If I have a close friend, I'm going to go to coffee with her and I'm going to ask her if she would commit to just praying about this. And it's usually going to be because it's in response to something like your friend saying, I'm not making enough money. And you literally know that you could help her bring in 2,000 a month. That's a coffee situation. I know what Andrea is talking about today is social media messaging. So I know it's different, but I also just think it's good to I have to ask myself, why don't I message more people? And it's because I don't want to feel something, which is way more about me than really just detaching from the outcome and sending the message. And I think that's what Andrea's getting to, because I know that's what she and Sarah got focused on last week.
Well, I just think Sarah and I say this all the time, and I wonder how many of y'all feel this way. We've been told not to message a certain way, or we did it all like this at one point, and then we were told not to do that. And now we're told to do this again. And now this is different. And I just want you to like almost take all of the way. I mean, it's kind of like eating in a way. My husband to this day believes in 1980s commercials that like milk does a body good. Like, cannot go a day without shoving 8 ounces of milk down one of my boys' throats. Like the cauliflower and bananas are superfoods. Like, must be eating cauliflower. Like, he just like certain marketing tactics around food are like he's all in. Like, whatever they sold to us. Like, so if you've gotten sold on something, one of two things happen. Either that really felt good for you, like, oh, telling someone not to, oh, I heard from this one trainer one time not to do hey girl messages anymore. So, oh, I'm off. I don't ever have to do that again. I can mark that off my to-do list. And I'm out on that. Like, I never have to message a cold person ever again because I was told never to do that by this one person one time. And or I was told only to do everything belly to belly. And if I can't do it belly to belly, or if I don't have their phone number in my phone, I probably shouldn't be messaging them because they're not really a good friend. Like, they're not someone I should be having a conversation with. What is a lie about messaging that you have bought into, either because it's comfortable for you, because it makes it easier, because it actually kind of takes you off the hook for something, and it was like, oh, well, it does feel better if I don't do that. Like, life is happier. My job is easier. I may not make as much money, but it makes it like kind of like takes the risk out of my job. So drop in the chat, one lie about messaging that you have heard or believed. And you may not even know it's a lie yet. You may not know till we get to the end of this that you're like, oh yeah, I've believed this whole time. So I'm going to read off two things. One is an icky list, like what makes messaging icky. And then I'm going to give you an effective list. What makes messaging people effective? So if something comes up in your head that's like, oh, I believed this, which is the opposite of what you're saying, I want you to drop it. And here's what I want you to say. I want to tell you, I am not an expert. Y'all, all I have done is worked this business 37 different ways in 11 years. I have done it one way because someone told me, and then a different way because someone told me. And then, I took a training course with someone and I decided to do it this way. And I'm not saying it's all or nothing, but I am saying it has to be a little bit of everything. There has to be cold messaging in your business if you want it to grow. There has to be warm market conversations happening. There has to be a constant reaching out and connecting to your lukewarm market, because you have to kind of be doing a little bit of everything for it to work. It cannot all be one thing. It can't be all parties. It can't be all Instagram. It can't be all reset. It can't be all triplex. Does that make sense? Like it kind of has to be a little bit of mix. So icky. So sometimes reach outs feel like a script, like you're just scripted from what someone else is saying, and it doesn't feel authentic to you at all. You're immediately asking for something like, oh, well, I'd really rather get into a conversation with them and get to know them a little bit better. And I don't really want to know them, but I feel like I have to check some boxes of like getting to know them 5 times or something before I can actually like go in for the ask. Or that whatever I'm doing is making it about me. Like I have to figure out how to make it about them. And because I can't figure out how to make it about them, then I'm just not going to do it at all. Like if I can't do it perfect, if I can't do it well, if I can't do it the way that, if I can't word it or make it as visual as so-and-so, then I just need to wait and not do it yet. Here's some really effective ways about messaging. Leading with curiosity and connection. Like, what if you just got curious about people, but you made it not feel like I'm getting to know you for the end game of you making me money. I'm getting to know you to find out if this connection between the two of us is actually going to work, that I do actually want you to be a part of this with me. Like I need to get to know you. I need to get to know you, Christy, Melissa, Smiley, Kristen. I need to get to know you to go, I've asked you 3 or 4 questions and you kind of answered it this way. I don't think I'm going to ask you about Plexus. Like, I don't think that you're the right person. Or, okay, now I know a little bit more. Now I actually know what part of Plexus like would be interesting to you, not which part of it is like, oh, now she said she needs money, I'm going all in on the business. It's like, but why do you need the money? Like give me more so I can figure out like, can I actually fix your problem? Because if someone starts telling you a health problem and they start going down the road of like, well, I have this lump, and you're like, okay, I can't fix that. Like you got slow gut, you're like energy is waning. I can fix some things, but even Becky said recently, like Plexus can't fix your hormones. Like if your estrogen or progesterone or testosterone, if they're low or out of whack, like Plexus doesn't actually fix hormones. They don't fix hormone levels the same way they don't fix thyroid levels. They actually don't. If you have a thyroid stimulating hormone that is too low or too high, Plexus actually doesn't go, like ProBio 5 doesn't go in and fix your thyroid. It may fix some symptoms that you're having around these issues. It may actually help you kind of kind of go from here to here, that your doctor may need to kind of fill some gap, but it doesn't fix anything. And so I just wanted to say, like, a lot of times we think we're going to fix somebody's actual problems and we find out their problems are bigger or different than what we actually have access to. So I just want to challenge you there. I believe that messaging can be personal and relevant no matter which market you're going to, whether you're going cold market, warm market, lukewarm market. You can be really personal and relevant in any one of those situations. As long as you have a clear reason for your message. So my question would be, do you feel like you can message someone and know exactly what you want for them at the end of the messaging conversation? Like at the end, like you could literally say at the end of talking to Katie, whether Katie and I talk for 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months, at the end of that, I really want for Katie to see the wisdom and what she has in her in her normal everyday life, and how Plexus meets that and actually exceeds that in income. Like, you can write that out. Before I message Katie, this is what I want to see at the end of our conversation. And then messaging also gives them an easy out. So you always, especially because it's over Messenger, you always are saying, I don't know if this is for you or not. And I'll show y'all some message. I'm going to give y'all some actual, like, real life, true message conversations that I'm in right now, so that we can talk through. But I want y'all to know, like, like, you can have a real connection with someone you actually have never met in your whole entire life. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of exercise on who should you be reaching out to. And I'm going to give you all about 5 minutes to make a list, because does anybody not have a funnel, like a current working list of people that you are like going back and forth with? And I would say a list of 5 or more names. Does anyone not have a list of 5 or more names of people that are currently like in some process of like, hey, have you heard of Plexus Tube? Hey, I've sent you a cart and you haven't signed up for the cart yet. Like, does anybody have, I do not, I did not prior to this have 5 people on that list. Okay, Christy has 3. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate that. Like, I did not have 5 people. I had 5 people I wanted to message. I did not have 5 people that I was in actual Plexus conversations with. So does anyone here have more than 5 people that you are actually in Plexus current conversations with? Beck does. Okay. Beck's an overachiever. We'll leave that there. So, okay, so I'm going to give y'all a couple of ideas, and then I want you to go just see if you've got, if you can just start making a list. Like, you're not reaching out to them yet, but you're just starting to make maybe a little bit of a different list than what you've been making. Okay, people that are watching your stories. Now, to have people watching your stories, you actually have to have stories going out. So do you actually have personal, non-graphic, non-Plexus stories happening in your social media? If you don't, that is on your list today, because you cannot find people who are liking your stories if you do not have stories. And when it says likes, it's not people it says watching your stories in a lot of places, but I have quite a few people watch my stories. A lot of y'all watch my stories. I'm not going to message you, and it's really hard to go through. But if I have people heart my stories, that's where my list actually starts to come up, because they're actually liking something that I'm putting in stories. Commenters and likers. So anyone that has commented on your feed in the last 3 or 4 posts that you've done on Instagram or Facebook, or people that have liked it, if you can kind of get through that list and get non-Plexus people out of that. I struggle with that. Y'all might not. And then here, I'll copy paste this list for y'all. Oops. People with active financial or active health and financial pain points. So do you know anybody who is currently struggling with health or financial issues? Women with influence or networks, even micro, and micro is somewhere around 1,000 to 1,500 followers. So I would have said I was a micro influencer prior to Plexus. I had about 1,500, 1,700 friends on Facebook. So as soon as I started posting, I already had a really good audience of people to kind of talk to and pick from. And then special interest groups, so moms, teachers, special needs, which is, obviously mine, community. So like, what are your things? So go find 5 to 10 names. I'm going to give you 6 minutes, find 5 or 10 names. And if they're just handles, I just want you to know, you can literally write down, like, I just write down Instagram handles. Like, I don't write down their names. I just write down at whatever. And I just make a list of people. So I'm going to challenge you, start there, figure it out. And if it's cold, warm, or lukewarm, it doesn't matter. And you can put a little symbol next to it if you're like, oh, this is cold market, this is warm market, whatever. I don't think that helps, but if it makes you feel better. Okay, see y'all in 6 minutes. Okay. So that gives you kind of a good start. I would tell you one of the things that I've been doing lately, and I've been talking about this a lot, so just bear with me, is I go to like someone, so I follow this hair chick, it's nothing to do with special needs at all. But I follow this girl named Chrissy. She has a salon in Phoenix, and everybody that comes in, like, I love everything that they do with their hair. So we have 229 mutual followers. So 229 people that I it says she's followed by 229 people that I know. So if I click on that, I wonder if some of y'all are in here, but I can start scrolling through and being like, oh, she like that's fun. So I'll click. I literally almost clicked on Bridget Ryan, or Sonia Dudley. Like, who's not in Plexus? Okay, I don't know who this chick is. This person has 895 followers. It's perfect. So to me, 100% cold message. This person is just follows the same type of people that I follow. The funny thing is this person has 7 followers that I know, which makes me a little nervous because I just saw Melissa Eichenhorst and Laura Clow and Heidi Spear. So she's a Plexus person. So I will pass and keep scrolling. So this may not be the best example only because there's so much overlap between my Plexus world and this girl. But for me, for special needs things, it's really, really different. Basketball is a little bit like that for me, but a lot of those are like teenage boys I do not need in my personal space. Okay, there's a special needs mom. We have 76 people that are similar. Stephanie on here. Yeah, Stephanie, we both follow the same person. Rebecca Wall, who's a friend of Becky and I's, follows this person. Amy Kosmowski. So people in Plexus, but also we probably have some non-Plexus similar friends that I'm just going to scroll through. And y'all, it does take time, but I want you to know, like, I messaged all of these people on Friday. They're all completely cold message. And I've gotten some responses. So do y'all want to talk? Y'all want to look at some responses that I'm getting, kind of see how the conversations are going? Kristen says yes, and then let's do it. If Kristen says yes, then I'm in. Okay. I'm going to show you all kinds of different responses. I hate this when it's not in present mode. So here we go. Okay. The first one, this is the cold message. Hey, mama, I know this is out of the blue, but I came across your page and felt like you'd really get this. I'm a special needs mom too, and I've built a flexible income stream around wellness by sharing about gut health and daily life. I'm looking for a few other moms to do it with me. No selling, just storytelling and support. If that sounds even a little interesting, want me to tell you more. Thanks for thinking of me, but no thank you. 100% understand. If health supplements or additional income are ever on your radar, let me know. I'd love to partner. So easy. No feelings attached to it. Christy, I can send these all to you. No feelings attached to it at all. But I didn't just like say, oh, thank you, and like let it go. It's like, hey, this is still what I do. I still do gut health. I mean, a month from now, her doctor could be like, hey, do you know anyone that's, you need to get on a probiotic if you know anyone selling it. And I want to still be on her radar. Does that make sense? Or next week she could have 2 flat tires and she's like, how am I going to make $600 this month extra based on, what we have? And she's like, wait, there's that one chick that messaged me about additional income. I'm willing to message her back. So that's just an option. Here's one that's a little longer. Same first message. And then she's like, hey, sorry, I spaced your message. Thanks for the offer, but I'm so busy with Kingston and life that I can't imagine dedicated time anywhere else. I mean, every mom feels this way, right? We're traveling again this summer, so maybe I'll have some time this fall. Thanks again. I said 100% understand. This season can feel like a lot. I'll be here if and when the timing feels better. Even just starting with the health side could be a huge support for your energy, stress, and gut. Hello, she's about to be traveling. If you ever want help on that part, just say the word. Where are you going? I'd love to see how you do so much with him. She has a special needs son. It's a lot like Ella. I still want to know how her world works with him. So getting curious, still keeping the conversation going, even though she said, no, I'm not really interested right now. But also
Andrea,
yeah.
Can I just say something really quick? Because I'm reading her response. This is someone, I would move her into my hot list. She said no, and I'd put her back in my hot list. Because she just gave you so much information about herself, which means she trusts you both, I'm guessing as a fellow special needs mom, but she told you all this stuff going on for her and him. I think if you just keep following up with the conversation, she's going to do something. That's just my thought on reading her response. Even though she said no, this would, to me, is like a not yet.
Yeah, that's why I wish you could actually make a folder on Instagram messages, because these people would all be in my folder. Because she's still telling me like what they're doing, and I'm still gonna, and I'm gonna be keeping this conversation up for sure from now through fall, just to make sure that when she said she might be interested later. But yes, all the things, she literally gave me all the reasons why she needs to do this business. So I mean, that's like incredible, so it's a no, but it's also but let's keep the conversation happening. Same message. Someone said, sure, sounds great. Say, yeah, I'm so glad you're open. Basically, I help mom use gut health and wellness products themselves, then share their real life experience on social in a way that feels authentic and doable. It's flexible. We should keep it simple, a part of the same small community of women who gets it. Want me to send you a quick rundown? She did not respond. This is on Friday. So I had the opportunity on Monday to follow up. Now, if your thought is, I don't know what to say next, this is where ChatGPT really helps. I will literally take this screenshot, drop it in ChatGPT, and say, what would you say next? And because it knows me so well, I talk to it all the time. It knows how I talk. A lot of times it will help me just like start brainstorming the next thought, and they'll say something. I'm like, oh, I don't like the way that sounds, but I can take out this part and put in this part and make it more me. But at least it gave me a jumping off point. So really want to challenge you. Like if you get stuck, like, okay, but she didn't respond. So now I don't know what to say. That's a really good aid for helping like keep you in the next like conversation. Okay. Next one. She said, hey, thanks for your message. I've been following you guys for a while. So she's following me back. I'll be straightforward with you that this probably isn't my thing, but if you want to share a bit more about it, I'm open to hearing. I don't really love to share myself on social, so maybe something I'm not really into. Also, I don't know if it matters, but I'm from Canada, which of course I'm like, hello, Canada. And the fact that we're going to be I told her, in Western Canada in September on the Alaskan cruise. And then there's a trip in Quebec City, which is far Eastern Canada, in October. And so I'm still gonna and this is today. So we just had this conversation this morning, but like, I still want to keep that conversation running with her. Cause she's like, I'm not in, but maybe I am, but maybe I'm not, but maybe there's if you could sell me on it, is essentially what she's saying. If you can sell me why this is important to me and why I need to do this, I think I could find the time. I think I could do it. If you can tell me I don't have to, be on lives on Facebook every day, or I don't have to put myself in stories as, my own picture. And the fact that she doesn't like having herself out there might be her own, might be a weight loss journey. It might be just a self-confidence journey. Anybody in here gotten more self-confidence since doing Plexus, that you're more bold and more like Christy Salcido? I'm looking at you. Like, you're probably more bold. You're willing to show up in different ways. Your face is willing to show up on things you would have never thought you would have ever spoken on. And so what if a year from now, this mom just has more confidence in herself? What if she just shows up better for herself? And because of that, and also Canada, wide freaking open. I can't wait to find out where in Canada she's from, because I'm like, what if it's an area of Canada that's not even touched? Okay. And I think this is the last one. Sent that message. Hey, sure, I'd love to hear more. Here's the gist. I work with women and create simple, real content around wellness. Y'all can read what I said. She said, sure, what kind of stuff is it? How does it work? Could you tell me more details? Sent her more details. So I'm keeping the conversation going without giving her so much information. And it's like, let me tell you about Triplex, and let me tell you how much it costs, and let me tell you how much money you can make, and let me tell you about a call we're having on Monday, and let me tell you, if you have the tendency to over talk, then you need to tell ChatGPT all the things you want to say. Like, this is what I want to say. And you can even voice message it too, which is the greatest thing ever. Did someone say something? And then you can say, can you make this less than 1 minute, less than 1 minute of reading, or 30 seconds of reading content. And it can literally take out all the pieces that you don't need and actually consolidate it, which is really important for us oversharers. Don't worry about it, Sarah. See, okay.
I was going to say, I would probably, just for me, ask ChatGPT to with that reply message, because y'all, Andrea is so right. This is where a lot of y'all are like, I don't know what to say. I would ask GPT to help me word it to get them on the phone. Because that's where my magic, I know Andrea's dying. That's where the magic happens in actually getting people to do work. Because you want to find out what their pain point is. And you can do that on the phone. And that's where you can recommend, oh, did you know that if you do this, you'll make this? Because people want to know actual numbers too. But I love seeing the back and forth, Andrea, because like you used the same intro message and you got all kinds of different responses, you know?
Yeah. And I will say I've sent a lot of messages over all of last week. I sent a lot of messages. I'm going to go back and do it again today. I was committing myself Monday through Friday to send about 10 to 20 fresh messages a day to people. And it takes time. These are not people that are like, oh yes, I want to end. Give me how much money? How can I make $1,000 this month? Send me a cart. I'm ready to order. These are conversations that are taking time. But if we did it for the whole month of May, even if Sarah's focusing, I know, I'm pretty sure, really heavy on Facebook, kind of that lukewarm warm market, no matter what market you're using, or if you're doing a combination, which I actually think is probably the most important, you have to be doing something every day that's not going back to the same person that's like, oh, I'm not that interested. And you're like, hey, so today we're doing a reset challenge. Like you're essentially just telling them like different information to the same like 20 people. I really want to challenge you to get outside of the list you currently have, outside of people you've ever messaged before, even if it's warm market, even if it's lukewarm or cold. But you can, I will say cold market takes more people longer to respond. Warm market takes less people a shorter amount of time to respond. So if I message my cousin right now and say, hey, and I send her the same type of message I've been sending everybody else, she's probably going to message me back like pretty quickly, right? I mean, she's my cousin, she's warm market. Like I just saw her at the family reunion, 2 weeks ago, and we're already in a conversation. So me messaging her, being like, girl, come do plexus with me, and being bold, I'll probably get a faster response, and our conversation will probably go quicker. It'll probably be like back and forth quicker. And I can be a little more like, girl, I know you need to be, I saw what you were eating at that family reunion. You need to be on plexus. Like I can be a little more honest. I can be a little more bold. And the conversation goes differently. These cold message conversations generally will take longer. There's no relationship built. They don't owe you anything. You're on a message thread. There's a lot of people that aren't on message threads all day long. They get on Instagram once a day, maybe. And so you just have to, there's a little more long suffering, I feel like, with this, but I can send 40 of these. I was almost sending 20 to 40 a day. I cannot do that in my warm market. I will not send 20 to 40 warm market messages a day. I will send 1 to 5 warm market messages. Does that make sense? Does that connect for y'all? Or are you like, no, I'm a total opposite? Because if you're a total opposite, I would love to hear, because we don't all think the same way. Okay. So some things to note before and after you're doing any messaging. You have to be in your stories. There has to be something you are showing up for already, because the second I message Valerie Rodriguez, the first thing Valerie Rodriguez is going to do? It's the same thing all of us are going to do. Yep. You're going to go straight to her Instagram and be like, who is she? If someone messages me like, hey, I'd love for you to partner with me on something, the first thing I'm going to message them, and I'm like, you have 7 followers. Something's weird here. We've all had, anybody else have that where you're like, oh, you work for a, promotions company and you have 7 followers. No. Immediately block. And so you have to be, it's not your number of followers. They may look and see, do you have a couple of 100 followers? That at least looks like you're a real human being, because you have multiple people that are following you. But your stories are going to be huge. What have you done in the last 24 hours, and how have you shown up for them? How have you attracted them? How do you have no trust factor building already with them in your stories? So I want to challenge you to do something personal. It doesn't have to be like, I'm not talking therapy personal. Like please do not tell me about, your first husband, your mom trauma from your childhood, like, why your child's like, hormones are going crazy, your teenager, like, you don't have to go that personal. I would go personal, like, hey, this is what I'm doing today. Hey, this is a funny story that happened over the weekend. Hey, this is anybody else May Simber going like absolutely nuts. Like funny, it can be funny if you're funny. I'm not funny. It can be like a little more like just real, like y'all know me, like if you've ever see any of my, like it's just my life. It's literally like I am a Instagrammer as it happens. Like I just talk about life as it's going.
She's what I call a vlogger. She's video blogging her life. Can I give permission to anyone on this call that really feels like you need to be an expert on health in order to sell Plexus? Can I just give you permission to not have to be a health expert? I see that's an area that I see so many of I see myself having gotten pigeonholed, I should say, into the health expert place, because I want to tell you right now, your customers they'll join you and they'll have great results, but they will think, oh, I can't do what Becky does. I can't explain the 5 strains in ProBio 5, so I guess I shouldn't sell this. Learn just to be like really, I want to say like authentically not not a health expert. And maybe the health stuff like really gets your brain going. That's great. You should learn out loud and share that. But then your audience also just needs to see that, you're drinking Restore because you wanted to sleep better, or that you drink Slim because it keeps you from going to Sonic after being in carpool in the afternoon, or whatever your story is, but like relatable. Relatable is going to, one, sell your products more, but two, it's going to help your happy customers follow in your footsteps way better than you being a health expert online.
Okay, and this is where I want you to help you. If anyone says, I don't know how to be relatable, my life is boring, I don't know, ask Chat GPT. What do you need to know about me to help me make relatable stories? What about me is relatable to other people? What are some ways that I can show up relatably? And then I don't think I have it in here. Y'all, I wrote all because my calendars are in my other room. I literally went through and I've created something called Because of Plexus. And every single day I'm posting Because of Plexus posts. Because of Plexus, we built a house for Ella that's handicap accessible. Because of Plexus, I could show up yesterday for Suns basketball, do one every single day. And I went back and forth for like an hour or two with ChatGPT on helping me create a content calendar for the month of May that says, because of Plexus, I can whatever, because it needed to know like what was going on in my life, and then some of it, I was like, this doesn't sound like me at all. So I just think like you can actually ask it for some tips on how to be relatable, but then you get to show up. So ChatGPT feels a little bit like a cheat sheet, but it also is like a cheat sheet, but then you have to think about, you actually have to show up in your stories. You can't just like copy paste what ChatGPT says. It gets your brain out of I don't know mode. If the second Becky or I said something, or somebody else, Melissa or Christy says something, and you were like, well, I don't know how to do that. Well, I can't show up that way. Well, that's not my story. Then you need to start getting either journaling or praying or all the above, ChatGPTing, and figure out how to get unstuck from whatever you keep telling yourself you're stuck in. And then just get into action. Y'all, I will say my first day of doing this versus my 5th day of doing this, my 5th day was so much better. I was doing a better job of making a list of people. I was doing a better job of like, oh, they haven't posted since 2023. Probably not going to message that person. So, I was only messaging people that were in their stories and that had posted in the last month. Like I got really narrow on the first day. I was like messaging all the people, all the things. It wasn't going very well. Day 5, I got really narrow on who I was messaging because I got better at it. My message got better. My responses got better. Everything was getting better by day 5. And so I want to challenge you. You have to start messaging today. And I do think it's easier to mess up with cold market because you don't feel like you're like, oh, I totally screwed up with those 12 people, but new 12 people today. And that's and I just was using them as a practice list anyways, like, does that feel good. Sarah said, I did this last night with ChatGPT with posting and this morning with my mindset. Like it's such a great way to get unstuck. And the more you tell it, the more it knows about you. Okay, we have about 10 minutes. Messaging strategy and steps. So you have to be in your stories. You have to be in your feed. They have to know who you are. I would encourage you to put your link, if you're on Instagram or on Facebook, your direct, I would say I haven't even told y'all the best thing that Plexus came out with today. Dang it. I meant to start with this. Reset by itself is back up to 100 and hold please. I have it in a screenshot. Dang it, where'd it go? Take a screenshot. It's $119. It's $100 PV for just a reset. So reset is back up to $100 PV. But get this, if you reset, now I don't have this screenshot, so I'm gonna have to go find it. If you reset plus triplex, wait, where is it? I made it all fun and then I didn't even have it ready to go. Triplex and trim combo, which is, oh wait, that's not the one I'm looking for. Hold on. Reset plus triplex. Ready? Is $185.50 for reset plus triplex. So that means I think it breaks it down. Oh wait, I have it in a post. Hold on a minute. See, you don't have to have it all together. You can be searching for stuff. Nobody cares. Stop growling. That's my dog, not my stomach. Does anybody have this reset information? I cannot find it.
I think it's around 150 PV or something like that. The PV went up and the price went down, especially on the triplex.
Yeah, so the price goes down, like the combo goes down if you get reset and okay, here. So reset plus triplex before was $199 with $153 PV. We'll put all this on the table. Now it's $185.50. So it's $15 less as a combo triplex reset, but you get you get $7 more PV. So how amazing is that? It's actually less expensive triplex reset now as a combo, but you get more PV for it. So we're going to do everything based on triplex reset this month, just like our income charts. I already have Andrea and Derek working on graphics with how to earn just based on triplex reset. But, oh, thank you, Sarah. Reset, $100. Yeah, $100 PV, it's $119. And then triplex reset is $185 and $165 PV. Is 160 PV. So we'll break all that down for y'all on the table, but I just want to encourage you, like, this should be what you're going after. Like have everything set up for the triplex reset. I forgot what my point was before I decided to just totally segue into that. Oh, you should be sharing about that. You should be sharing about your triplex and your reset in your stories. I would encourage you to do it on video, like what your favorite parts of reset are, why you're doing a reset, maybe somebody's before and after story. I will say, if you have seen Amy Welch's before and after, it's in Plexus community today. It looks massive, a huge, massive difference between her before and her after. And so go into Plexus, one Plexus community, and you'll see her before and after. And I messaged her, was like, is this one reset? Because girl, that's a big difference. And she said, no, it's 3 months of resets and not changing anything else. So it's 3 resets in 3 months, and her difference between her before picture and her after picture. So I really love that because it encourages someone to do 3 months of a triplex reset for that kind of an impact. So I just want to encourage you there. She was already doing 3 miles a day, I think she said, of walking when she took that first picture. But the reset is the only thing she changed in the 3 months to the second picture. So you really need to connect with people. You really need to have a reason that they are like, oh, Kristen, as soon as you cold message someone should be able to go in your stories and be like, oh, she's a mom of like a young kid. And like, you don't have to have Lyra's face obviously on it. Like, I'm not encouraging y'all to be as like my kids have been, every part of my kids have been all over social media. But some people are like, oh, I don't like putting my kids on. You can put the back of your kid's head running to the park. You can, tell me you're a mom without being, telling me you're a mom and you've got toys everywhere. Like, you don't actually have to have, your husband if he doesn't want to be on social, or your kids if you don't want them on social. You can get really creative. Again, ask ChatGPT. How can I get really creative without putting my kid's face on social media all day long? Or how can I get really creative without, being the face of my, my social media? I don't love having my face on. But you have to have some way for them to know who you are when you're messaging them. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget to tell y'all anything. Okay, pitfalls to avoid. Mass copying and pasting without thinking about how you're copy pasting. So y'all saw that I sent the same message to a lot of people. They were all special needs moms. I made sure, because some people I had on my list were like special needs therapists or special needs advocates and things like that. And I made sure that I wasn't sending the wrong message to the wrong person. So although it looks like a copy paste, it was very intentional about who I sent the special needs mama, message to versus like special needs community. Like, I would send different iterations of the same message. I did voice message a few people. I don't think any of those were on that, but I did voice message a few people. Whatever I wrote out, it was just easier to voice message. And I liked that because it felt like they got to know me and hear my voice a little bit better. It felt more personal. Instead of asking them for a favor, like, hey, I need like 3 more people to do this with me. Like, make sure you're adding value for them. Like, what are they getting out of it? And keep asking yourself, like, what am I giving them? What are they going to get out of whatever I'm offering them? Yeah, getting in your own head is going to be the biggest thing, is actually telling yourself, I don't have time to do it. Oh, I'll do it later when I can sit down and do the XYZ. Like, if you send one message in the next like 5 or 10 minutes to somebody, it will start the ball rolling. And a lot of times what I do is I send a bunch of messages before I have to go do something, before I have to get on a call, before I go into my lashes, when I can't look at my phone for a good solid like hour afterwards. It actually makes me feel better if I send up like 20 messages and then like ghost my social media. So that helps a lot. But I showed up before. They know who I am. They can look at my stories and they're like, oh, this is what she's doing. Oh, she's at this appointment. Like, there's a little bit of information. Okay, I want to make sure if anybody has a question or a concern or a red flag for yourself, where's any hesitation showing up for y'all with messaging people? Okay. I want to encourage you to just do it. Don't wait for someone else to validate your messages. Don't wait for someone else to say, oh, is this a good one? I don't know if this is any good. How would you respond to this? Do not send your sponsor a message that says, how would you respond to this, if you haven't asked ChatGPT and sat with it yet. I really want you to know how, own this. We're going to guide you, but at the end of the day, you have to own all your messages. So I really want you to do that. That's it. I can't think of anything else. Beck, did I miss anything that coming up for you?
No, that was so good. And now I just need you to sit over my shoulder and help me choose the people on Instagram that I'm supposed to message. This was so good. Thank you.
Yeah, I do think the making the list is the longest process, actually. I think it takes the longest to actually write down all the names. And I never wrote down a single name I didn't message. I literally would write down their name, message them, write down their name, message them. Because what we tend to do is make a list of 20 people and then go, oh, I'll message them tomorrow. Oh, I'll message them later tonight. And then we get busy. And I just want to encourage you, message, write their name down, message, write their name down. So that you're actually holding yourself accountable to the work, not the writing the name down does nothing for your business. It will not change your paycheck. Just like printing out your back office or getting into your back office does not change your paycheck. The conversations you have are the only thing that will change your paycheck. So if you want to change your paycheck, however much you want to change it is how many conversations you're having a day. So, all right, 1 o'clock. We'll see y'all tonight on all the calls. There's a ton of calls tonight, so we'll see y'all on them. Bye, y'all.